Speed cleaning was developed by my good friend Jeff Campbell, and he's the founder of a large and successful cleaning service in San Francisco called the Clean Team. Since starting that company, he learned a lot about cleaning and how to clean very well and very fast. By studying the movements and by timing the different cleaning jobs, testing the best sequence within each task, speed cleaning evolved.
Speed cleaning was perfected in San Francisco and described in the book Speed Cleaning, published by Bantam Doubleday Dell in New York. That book contains the trade secrets of my successful house cleaning service. This video is based on that book.
This video is going to give you a clear step-by-step method for cleaning your house on a weekly or every other week basis. What to do second, what tools to carry, and how to proceed until you have completed the entire house. Those trade secrets will allow you to do your ongoing house cleaning in a fraction of the time you're used to. What we're talking about in this video is routine or maintenance cleaning. You know, things like thoroughly cleaning the kitchen and the bathroom, including the floors, and dusting and vacuuming the rest of the house. The cleaning we try to do every week or two that takes so much of our valuable time.
Believe it or not, our 3-person teams can clean an average San Francisco home thoroughly, top to bottom, in about 42 minutes. We can clean a 1-bedroom, 1-bathroom apartment in about 18 minutes. And we're going to teach you those exact skills so you can use them either by yourself or in your own team.
Never forget that the whole idea is to get it over with fast and reclaim some extra time.
In the speed cleaning book, we boiled our system down to 13 rules. Here are 2 of the most important rules. We'll talk about the rest of the rules later on in the video. Make every move count. The first rule and the most important rule is to make every move count. You may know what it's like to work without a system. You're zigzagging back and forth across the house. You're repeating steps you know you don't need to, and you're making more and more work for yourself. In short, you're working more than you need to, but you're getting less done than you could. When you learn to make every move count, you'll learn to work in a sequence that makes good common sense without backtracking. Once around the room and you're done except for the floor. Keep this rule in mind at all times when you're cleaning. Make every move count. Rule number 2, use the right tools. What you don't need is a collection of gadgets. What you do need are very few professional tools that really work. And we found out that the single most important tool turns out to be a work apron, so you can carry everything with you. We designed our own apron specifically for cleaning. It has 7 specialized pockets, 3 of which are dedicated to small tools that we'll talk about. There's another pocket for carrying cleaning cloths. There's a pocket for debris. And very importantly, there are 2 loops so that you can carry the spray cleaners that you're going to need when you're cleaning. And since our whole point is to try to save you some time, we developed a website that lists all of the products that we use. If you would like to order this exact apron or any product that we talk about in the video, we're going to show you how at the end of the tape. But we want to be fair-minded about other products also. You don't have to order anything from us or from anyone else. You can use the products that you have at hand, especially when you're first learning. Cleaning supplies. Now, we're going to talk about the items that you need for cleaning every room in the house. Later on, we'll talk about a few items that are unique to each room, but not until we're actually cleaning that room. The first group of products we're going to talk about are the ones that we carry in our apron. And the first product in the apron is our red juice. Red juice happens to be our favorite cleaning product. It's a heavy-duty liquid cleaner similar to 409 or Fantastic. It also happens to be non-toxic. It's odorless, it's biodegradable, it's USDA approved for use in kitchens, and it doesn't make us cough like some of the grocery store brands that we've tried. It's a champion degreaser and cleaner, and we use it for everything from fingerprints to spotting carpets. You should make it a habit to keep the top of the spray bottle tight at all times. And notice that the top is also color-coded so that we can quickly grab for whatever cleaner we want. Always put it back in your apron in the same spot. You can put it on either side, but once you decide, you can't change sides because then you have to waste time to look. Blue Juice is a light-duty liquid cleaner similar to Windex. Like Red Juice though, we think it's both better and safer than the other products that are available. It's good for light jobs such as cleaning glass tabletops, glassing pictures or mirrors, or spot cleaning windows. Like red juice, put blue juice back in the same loop on your apron. The next product is a cleaning cloth. It's really at the heart of your whole cleaning system. What we use are high-quality, all-cotton table napkins that are hemmed so they don't become unraveled. They are highly absorbent. They are as lint-free as anything gets. Don't use polyester, which is not at all absorbent. Don't use any cloths that have color in them because it can come off on the wall that you're trying to clean. And we definitely don't recommend sponges. Sponges don't absorb as well as cleaning cloths. You can't scrub with them like you can with a cleaning cloth, and you have to rinse them over and over again. Cleaning cloths, on the other hand, can usually wipe a surface clean and dry in 1 or 2 swipes, and when finished, you can just toss them in the wash, so over time, they're a lot cheaper than paper towels, for example. They are a better environmental choice also. It's important that you know how to fold them so that they don't all come out of your apron at the same time. We'll show you. It's really easy. Just fold it once, fold it twice, fold it in the middle. This also gives you several different surfaces that you can use for cleaning surfaces when you're actually using it. Microfiber cloth. We've added a microfiber because they are very good for some jobs. They are perfect for streak-free cleaning of mirrors, for polishing, and for some dusting, as we'll demonstrate when we actually start cleaning. Put it in your apron behind the plastic bag for trash. The next tool is a toothbrush. We'll call it a toothbrush, but it's actually a stiff, bristled brush that's angled to get into tight spots. You'll notice a real difference in cleaning power when you compare this to a cleaning cloth alone. A lot of surfaces appear to be smooth, but they are actually irregular. With this brush, you can really dig into the irregularities in the surface and actually clean the surface much better. It's good for tight spots like around faucet or the knobs on the stove. We even use it for spotting carpets. The white is for general use, and the blue is dedicated for use on the toilet. The next tool we're going to talk about is another one that has its own dedicated pocket in the apron, and it's a scraper. It's actually a small plastic spatula like you see a painter use when they're doing spackling. It's used even when a toothbrush will take too long. An example would be when you are cleaning pancake lumps off the counter. You know how they kind of turn to stone overnight. You can wipe and wipe with your cleaning cloth, or you can scrub and scrub with your toothbrush and it won't come off. However, if you take your scraper and quickly pop them loose, you're done with that job very quickly and you can move on. There are a couple of precautions when using your scraper. Use it at a low angle. It's harder to scratch a surface if you keep the scraper at a low angle. And also, wet the surface with some of your red juice or blue juice, because it's also harder to scratch a wet surface than a dry surface. But to be safe, always test in an inconspicuous spot. The next tool is another one of the tools that has its own little pocket. It's a razor blade and a razor blade holder. Use this for some chores that otherwise can be very difficult. Sometimes to help get the soap scum off a glass shower door. Also to clean the inside of a glass oven door. Retract the blade after each use. The next tool that we're talking about is not a tool at all, but 2 of the largest pockets in the apron have replaceable pocket liners. One of them is for debris. The other one is to help keep you dry. It's a place to put a white pad, which we'll talk about soon. That's about it for all of the tools that we carry in our apron. Now, we're going to talk about the tools that we carry in our back pockets, which means that you need to clean wearing pants that have 2 back pockets. Back pocket tools. The first one is a whisk broom. It's great for getting cat hair off the couch or getting a few cookie crumbs off the couch so you don't have to drag out the vacuum cleaner to do it. It's also perfect for getting the very edge of the wall-to-wall carpet that the vacuum cleaner never gets no matter what the vacuum cleaner advertisement tells you. In the other pocket, we carry one more tool, and it's a feather duster. It's made of genuine ostrich down black feathers. Only ostrich down actually attracts dust. It's also very soft and pliable, which means you can get into some very tight spots with it. Definitely don't get one of those tacky, cheap, fluorescent orange feather dusters. They're absolutely worthless. Lamb's wool duster. Sometimes you need a lamb's wool duster such as this when there are large flat surfaces to dust. So how are you going to store all these supplies? Well, we have an idea there. We use a carry-all tray. We've got one with steep sides so that the items won't fall out, and it's made of a strong plastic, so it's literally indestructible. It's great for storing supplies that are not carried in your apron, such as Pro Scrub or extra cleaning cloths. It's great for carrying your supplies from room to room. It protects the surfaces of the house, and it's a good place to store things in between cleanings. And speaking of storing your items between weekly cleanings, dedicate a higher, easy-to-reach shelf in a cleaning closet or pantry. That's it for the tools and supplies that you need no matter what room you're cleaning. There are a few others that we'll talk about when we're actually cleaning the other rooms that are involved. Over the years, we've tried just about every possible combination of strategies for cleaning, and what Jeff found that works best for his company is to work in teams of 3. But it doesn't matter if you're going to be working alone or whether you're going to be working in a team of 2 or 3. We're going to explain one job at a time. First, we'll talk about how to clean the kitchen. Then we're going to talk about how to clean the bathroom. And then we'll talk about how to clean the rest of the house while demonstrating the correct techniques. We've already talked about the products that we need for general cleaning. Now, let's talk about the few extra products that we need just for cleaning the kitchen. The first product is Pro Scrub for cleaning sinks, tubs, and toilets with a formula that makes it virtually impossible to scratch any surface. As with anything though, you can scratch practically any surface with practically any product if you bear down hard enough. If you're so inclined, you may want to use rubber gloves. If you're going to use them, use the professional kind that have a nice long sleeve so the water doesn't dribble down your arm. We need a supply of clean folded cleaning cloths. 6 to 8 are usually sufficient. Next is a white pad. You've probably seen one of these. This is made by 3M, but it's a sponge on one side and it's a scratch pad on the other. White is the one that's safe for almost all surfaces you'll find in the kitchen or the bathroom. But be careful with green or black or blue or other colors, which can damage a lot of surfaces. Our model kitchen has a lot of stainless steel, so we need a stainless steel cleaner and polish. We use one that does both at the same time. One other thing we need is something to clean the floor with, and what we use is Shiclean. It's effective and also safe on all floor surfaces including marble, granite, tile, stone, or finished wood. In any event, don't use any product that creates suds, which means you have to mop the floor again to remove the suds. And certainly don't use any product that needs to be rinsed. That's also like cleaning the floor twice. What a time waster. This flat mop is perfect and we'll talk about it when we clean the floor. Suffice it to say that it's a huge improvement over most any mop that you're used to using. You know, there is one little other thing that we should talk about. House cleaning isn't really fraught with danger, but there are a couple of precautions that you should take. The first precaution is, don't mix your cleaners. For example, ammonia, when mixed with bleach, can produce a deadly gas. Just be careful and never mix any cleaners. There is another precaution, I'm sure you've heard it before. Always read the labels and follow the directions. Well, I think we're just about out of excuses. It's time to speed clean the kitchen finally. Miriam is going to clean it for you from top to bottom following all 13 of the speed cleaning rules, all of which we will share with you during this video. Miriam first puts her mop just inside the door, and then she puts the carry-all tray on the counter. You're always going to start cleaning the kitchen from the same spot, and that spot is to the right of the sink. Put on the apron first. Just click on it and pull to tighten. She checks to make sure that she has her 3 apron tools. Remember, you've got a toothbrush, you've got a scraper, and down here is the razor, and they're all where they belong. Now, take the red juice, check to make sure it's tight, and put it on the right side, as long as you're right-handed. Remember, whichever side you use, always put the same cleaner back on the same loop. Set the blue juice in place also. She needs a few cleaning cloths. Take a few of them out of your tray and put them into your apron pocket. And you notice we didn't say stuff them in your apron pocket, but put them in there in a nice organized way so you can pull them out one at a time when you're using them to clean the kitchen. Put the microfiber cloth behind the debris bag. Remember, there are 2 plastic lined pockets. In the kitchen, the first one is to carry the white pad in. Your white pad will quickly be wet and the plastic will keep you from being wet also. So now her apron is full and we need a couple of tools to go in the back pocket. Miriam needs a feather duster. She'll put it in her back pocket. Step 1. If there is a throw rug, take it out of here. Now it won't be in the way when we're ready to do the mopping. This is a good time to remove the trash. So she also grabs that. She's going to take them outside the room and leave the garbage here, where she can pick it up and empty it later. The strategy for cleaning the kitchen, or any other room for that matter, is to work your way around the room once, never backtracking. Always progressing to the right. And at the same time, you're going to be observing rule number 3, and that is work from top to bottom. That's because there are no exceptions to this rule. If you don't work from top to bottom, you'll continually make more work for yourself because dust and debris and even cleaning solution will fall or drip back down onto a surface that you've already cleaned. It's also why you clean the floor last. You can knock debris on the floor while you're cleaning it, and you can pick it up when you mop the floor. It makes no sense to mop it any other time but last. Miriam is going to start to the right of the sink. This is a starting point for all kitchens, to the immediate right of the sink, following our rule of working from top to bottom, back to front, and to the right. She starts by cleaning the countertop. Red juice is safe and effective on granite, as we have here. So she grabs a cleaning cloth, sprays and wipes behind the tray, then lifts the cleaning tray and sprays a little red juice and wipes it clean and dry. Did you notice how Miriam set her red juice back in her apron without even looking? It quickly becomes automatic. Always put your tools back in the same place in the apron. It's quite surprising how quickly you get good at this. And of course, the better you are at it, the faster you clean with 0 additional effort. Once you have started a cleaning cloth, instead of putting it back in the apron, throw it over your shoulder where it's easy to grab for the next use. Now, she's going to move to the right and repeat. It becomes automatic to move to the right to clean top to bottom and from back to front. That brings us to rule 4. If it isn't dirty, don't clean it. You know, a lot of people try to clean a couple of fingerprints on the refrigerator and might have sprayed the entire refrigerator, at least all they can reach, which takes a little bit of time. And it takes even longer still to wipe it now all clean and dry. Really, all they wanted to do is clean those few fingerprints. So pay attention. If it isn't dirty, don't clean it more than you need to get the couple of fingerprints. So let's talk about the counter a bit more. One of the reasons that the counter is hard to clean is that there are often a lot of things in the way. So the way to clean the things that are on it, move the canisters towards you, being careful not to scratch the surface. So you can reach behind, spray some red juice back there, or just use your red juice dampened cloth and wipe the area that was right behind the canister here. Before you move them back, you want to clean them, and usually you can clean them just with your red juice dampened cloth. Now moving right one more time, she comes to some interesting stuff here on the countertop. It is just breadcrumbs. They're loose, and that means that we can kind of scoop them up and drop them into the debris pocket. This is a very simple and very fast way to get rid of them. And if a few of them fall onto the floor, it's no big deal since we haven't cleaned the floor itself yet. Moving again to the right, here comes something else. Miriam's experienced eye tells her that she likely needs her white pad and red juice before using her cleaning cloth. It looks like dried mustard or something. She sprays, then agitates with the white pad, and then wipes with a cleaning cloth. One point we're making here is most of this gunk from the mustard is now in the white pad and not on the countertop anymore. Many of us would have this irresistible urge to walk over to the sink and rinse it out. Well, sorry, you don't get to do that. That's going to waste time. No matter how yucky the white pad gets, it's not going to clean any better if you rinse it. So just stick it back into the plastic-lined pocket and leave it there. That came off nice and clean. You notice every time she uses the cloth, she keeps putting it over her shoulder. Looking down, there are a couple of shelves that need to be dusted or wiped along with the items on the shelf. Before we move along, let's cover a couple more rules. Rule number 5. Don't rinse or wipe a surface before it's clean. You may know what it's like. You're scrubbing and scrubbing and scrubbing, trying to get something clean, and you have this understandable tendency to want to wipe it, just to check and see if it's clean. Often, that's only a form of wishful thinking, because it's still dirty. You need to learn to see through the dirt, really through the dirt. And if you can't do that, feel through the dirt, because the surface feels differently when it's clean. And Rule 6 is really just the flip of Rule 5. Don't keep working after it's clean. In other words, when you reach the actual surface, stop cleaning. Besides wasting time scrubbing something that's already clean, you can actually damage the surface of the countertop, and it wears out your clean cloth much quicker than you really want it to. Let's find out what's next in the kitchen, shall we? Marian continues her trip around the kitchen. She arrives at a stainless steel oven. As long as there are fingerprints, grab the stainless steel cleaner and gently spray. Use the microfiber cloth to wipe and then turn the cloth over to its dry side to polish. We're not going to clean the inside of the oven itself, but there are a couple of things that you can do when you clean it on a weekly basis. For instance, this top edge of the door. That's one of those horizontal surfaces that gets dirty. That is all you normally do with the oven during your weekly cleaning. But on oven doors that have a window in it, you can actually cheat and make it look like we've cleaned the whole oven just by cleaning the window on the inside. To do that, you need the red juice and the razor blade and holder. Spray it with red juice. That gets the surface wet so she doesn't scratch with the razor. And use the razor at a low angle and just get all this stuff loose. Isn't that easy? And as we said, it really does make it seem like you cleaned the whole oven. And wipe it clean and dry. There. Doesn't that look better? Well, that's it for the inside of the oven. You already know how to clean the second oven below. Here's a stainless steel microwave oven. They're easy to clean. Start with the inside, and all you need in here is your red juice and a cleaning cloth. Maybe once in a while you'll need a white pad or a toothbrush, and grab for them if you do. And don't worry about using red juice in there. Red juice is USDA approved for use around food, so it's safe. To clean the microwave on the outside, start at the top, and Marian is just going to use a little stainless steel cleaner right on her cloth to wipe as needed. Then just clean the front of the microwave the same way as Marian cleaned the oven door. Mainly, there's a few fingerprints here that you want to keep from accumulating. If you need your toothbrush once in a while, go ahead and use it. Next, we have a small counter. Look up to see if there's anything to clean on the cabinet above. Usually fingerprints near the handle. Move the coffee maker back to clean it, and then clean the counter itself, and finally check the cabinet below. It looks like in this kitchen, the next thing we're coming to is the refrigerator. Since this is weekly cleaning, there's something you don't have to do with the refrigerator, and that's clean the inside of it. So, let's just follow the normal rules and start cleaning at the top. On many refrigerators, the top of it is exposed, unlike this one. If there is a space above the refrigerator, it's a nice flat surface and you can dust it with your wool duster or feather duster. Now, on the outside of the refrigerator itself, mainly you're going to look for fingerprints around the handle. If there are a lot of them, use your red juice here where people's fingers, especially little dirty ones, touch all the time. Use your toothbrush in any place you might suspect dirt is hiding, such as around the water and ice dispenser, those kind of places. Now polish with stainless steel cleaner. But remember, Rule 4, if it isn't dirty, don't clean it. Whole areas of this refrigerator never get touched. So don't absent-mindedly spray the whole refrigerator and then have to wipe it clean and dry. There is one thing you should do on the inside of the refrigerator while doing the weekly cleaning, and that is to keep this gasket clean. All sorts of spills fall in there, and things get trapped in this kind of accordion design of it. Use a little red juice and then use a toothbrush in there. This really cleans this area out well. Take a cleaning cloth and dry it. While you're at it, clean this leading edge of the refrigerator here. Moving to the right around the kitchen, Miriam comes to more cabinets and countertops, and you know how to clean those. Move the plant forward and dust it using the feather duster. We'll talk more about the feather duster later in the video. Now she's at the stovetop. By now you know how to start above the stove. Above the stove is a wood hood that needs to be wiped. Also, there is often a filter and vent type of situation. This one pulls out, and the filter is often dirty. If it's dirty, don't even try to clean it with your red juice and a cleaning cloth. Instead, put it in the dishwasher. Now clean the stovetop itself. This is a gas stove with heavy grates, which is fine because they're actually a little easier to clean than an electric stove. But if you have an electric stove, theory is all the same, so just follow along. Rule 7. If what you're doing isn't going to work, shift to a heavier duty cleaner or tool. In other words, pick the tool that's strong enough for the job at hand. If you're using your cleaning cloth and you're not making much progress, jump up to your toothbrush, or a white pad, or the scraper, or the razor. Let's say you encounter some mystery substance like whatever this is here on the stovetop. She knows just by looking at it that the cleaning cloth isn't going to be strong enough, and probably neither is a toothbrush. So, at the first sign that your white pad isn't strong enough, jump to another tool. Don't waste time continuing to try something that isn't working very well. Cut your losses. You'll actually get very good and very fast at sizing up exactly what tool you need for the cleaning job at hand. That will save from wasting the time of all the intermediate steps of trying one tool at a time. It's amazing how fast you move around the room if you don't backtrack. People say it's easier to put the red juice on the counter. That may be when you're not used to putting it back in its proper loop, but after you've backtracked a few times, you realize how right it is to put it back in the same place after every use. Next is a glass window cabinet with things on the counter. You know how to do most of this, but let's have Miriam demonstrate how to remove fingerprints from glass. She uses blue juice and a very dry cleaning cloth. If the cloth she is using is a bit damp, she needs to take a fresh one from her apron. If the damp one is still usable, she puts it back on her shoulder and puts the new dry one hanging from the front pocket. And she'll use that one when the damp one becomes too wet or dirty. After wiping the last section of counter before completing her circle, there is a stainless steel dishwasher under the counter. Normally, the only fingerprints on it are close to the handle and on the switch. That's the case here. When cleaning larger stainless steel surfaces, spray the stainless surface rather than the cloth. Miriam is back at the sink, and that's good news, and that means she's just about cleaned the entire kitchen. Sometimes when you're cleaning around the kitchen, you come to something you need a very dry cloth for. Chrome faucet handles are a good example. And if the cloth is already a little wet, that's not a good cloth to use because it will leave streaks. So you often want to be using two cloths. Use the red juice on the rim of the sink. This rim is mostly granite, but that's fine. Now the tool of choice is the toothbrush. See how Miriam uses it to agitate around all the faucet and the handle. Everyone's sink is a bit different, but you get the idea. Use a rinse hose to wash away debris. Using a cleaning cloth now to wipe this area clean and dry. This sink doesn't have a chrome faucet, but a lot of them do. If there is a chrome faucet, switch to a very dry cleaning cloth or the microfiber cloth and really give the chrome and knockout streak-free shine. Now Miriam uses Pro Scrub for the inside of the sink. Wet the sink and squirt a little Pro Scrub on both sides of the sink. The tool of choice for agitating is the white pad, and she uses the toothbrush around the drain. Pro Scrub, like Comet, is more difficult to rinse out than regular liquid cleaners, so it's a good idea to use your fingers on the bottom of the sink to make sure all the Pro Scrub is rinsed away. When finished rinsing, she's done except for the floor. Miriam is ready to mop the floor, so she takes out a couple of things that are going to be needed. One is Clean, and the other are mop covers. Miriam is going to take the tray out of the room now and get the mop and then start cleaning the floor. This is a different looking mop. It's called a Shemop. This mop is entirely different than the sponge or disposable mops that have been popular for so long. For starters, it cleans with terry cloth covers. This cover is actually removable and reusable. Now, why it works so fast is that the foot is about 8 inches by 15 inches in diameter. Compare that with the amount of surface that's on the floor when using a regular sponge mop. That's why the Shemop is about 3 times faster than other mops. It swivels in all directions, which means it's easy to get into corners. When using it and one of the Shemop covers gets dirty, rather than take it to the sink and rinse it, just take it off and put on a new, clean one. And when done with the cleaning, toss the Shemop covers into the washing machine along with the cleaning cloths. This also means it's very sanitary. It's like having a new mop every time you do the cleaning. Now, one last thing before Miriam starts using the Shemop. Sometimes you need to vacuum or sweep the kitchen floor before you clean it, usually because of excess dog or cat hair. If that's the case, do that now. Miriam puts a few wipes in an apron pocket. To make a cleaning solution in the sink, put a little warm water or cool water in here. Not much is needed, just a couple of inches of water in the bottom of the sink and then a couple of gurgles of Clean. If the floor is dirtier, use a bit more Clean, but be sparing. Miriam takes a Shemop cover and dips it in the cleaning solution, and then wrings it so it's almost dripping wet. And then put it back over the foot of your Shemop. The first time putting the cover on the Shemop seems a bit awkward. Less so the next time, and soon it's so easy and automatic that you don't even need to think about it. Miriam goes to the furthest corner of the kitchen and starts mopping and working her way back towards the sink. Notice how she can get tight into the edge and with just swiveling can get underneath the lower oven. Almost no effort at all. Big strokes cover a large area. Besides not needing to use a bucket, it also leaves the floor almost dry, so there's no wait before you can walk on the kitchen floor. No need to rinse. If you come to a stain or dry food or whatever, stop and grab your red juice and spray it. If that doesn't work, use the scraper to loosen it. And if necessary, put any debris into your debris bag. And when she finishes one area of the floor, she backs up a couple of steps and cleans another area. Everyone's floor plans are a little bit different, so she's not demonstrating how to Shemop this entire kitchen floor. But when you're cleaning different floor plans, use landmarks for each area to avoid overlapping. Go more slowly, or repeat the mopping on areas that get dirtier, like in front of the sink and stove, for example. And speed up where people don't often walk, like next to walls, for example. After using the Shemop for a while, the cover will get too dirty or it will get too dry. When that happens, go to the sink and put on a fresh cover as Miriam is doing. So take it off as she's putting it in her apron, the same way she might with a soiled cleaning cloth. Once again, wet a fresh mop cover and wring it out almost dripping wet, and then put on the fresh Shemop cover. When she's at the sink for the last time, let the water out, and then do a quick rinse. A heavy rinse or any further cleaning isn't necessary because she hasn't put any dirt into the sink. That's another nice thing about these mops. She grabs the clean because she doesn't need that anymore and puts it in her apron. She finishes up the floor as she mops her way out of the kitchen. Of course, the mop will work with most any floor cleaning product. Marian has just speed cleaned the kitchen. Now that we finished the kitchen, let's check out the bath. The bathroom. Before starting the bathroom, let's look at the tools and supplies that are needed just for the bathroom that we haven't seen before. Now, actually you have seen a couple of the things we use. You know about Pro Scrub, and Marian is going to use that again in the bathroom. Just a reminder that none of the products being used require gloves, but if you prefer to use them, add a pair to the cleaning tray. And of course, she's going to need a fresh supply of cleaning cloths. Note that Marian is adding a toothbrush that is dedicated to the toilet, along with a white toothbrush she's been using in the kitchen. She can put it in with a white pad for storage until she needs it in the bathroom. There are two products you haven't seen before. One of them is a tile and hard water cleaner. The one we like is Scum Bum, and it's perfect for removing scum and mineral deposits from shower doors, walls, etc. She also has a plastic cup that can be used to help rinse the shower if needed. She needs a couple of brushes. This tile brush is probably our favorite brush. You can see how the stiff bristles can dig into the grout in the shower walls, and that's when it's used to clean the shower and the tub area. There is one other brush that we need, and that's the one to clean the toilet with. Once again, this brush has nice stiff synthetic bristles. The design of it allows the brush to get up underneath the lip of the toilet. There is one other product that we use in the bathroom. This is plain old bleach. And you probably know that one little dribble of bleach on your carpet will make a white spot that will last forever. Keep it covered with this cleaning cloth so that you don't accidentally dribble any on the way to the bathroom. Here's the bathroom. Everyone's favorite room to clean, right? Take heart. Speed cleaning will soon have you out of here in 15 minutes or less, and 5 to 10 minutes for a guest bath. Just as in the kitchen, there's a starting point. In most bathrooms, that's at the drain end of the tub. In this bathroom, there is no space to put the carry-all tray there, so Marian is putting the carry-all tray at the other end of the tub. Just as happened in the kitchen, there are a couple of steps before starting the actual cleaning, and that is to take any throw rugs and trash and set it outside the door. She puts her apron on and checks that the 3 tools are in place, that the blue juice sprayer is on tight and is on the correct side, and the same with the red juice on the other side. Once again, a reminder that you always put each cleaner back in the same loop on the apron after each use. Also, put a white pad in the plastic-lined pocket. You may notice that Marian hasn't put the feather duster in her back pocket from the carry-all tray. The reason is because in the bathroom, we're going to make 2 trips around the room. It's not actually breaking a rule because you still don't backtrack, but you will see that it makes good sense. First trip, wet work. The first trip is to do the wet work. That's the work that requires the 2 brushes, or the white pad. In this bathroom, she will use the white pad in the tub and shower, and also the sink, and the toilet brush in the bowl of the toilet. After that trip is finished, she will make a second trip around the room, never backtracking of course, and do everything that's left. Second trip, everything else. The second trip is a lot of spraying and wiping. Marian is going to demonstrate how to clean the tub and shower without using water or actually applying Scum Bum or Pro Scrub for demonstration purposes. Marian starts with the tub and shower. The first step is to move out of the way any little items that are going to be in the way later on. Move the rubber ducky as well as the shampoo. Set them right outside on the floor. It's a good idea to set the soap out also. It's usually kind of a mess on the bottom side, so turn it over and set it on the cloth. The next step is to wet the shower walls. Marian uses cold water just the way it comes out of the shower head to wet the shower walls and the tub. Don't wait for the warm or hot water for a couple of reasons. If the water gets warm, it will steam up the whole bathroom, which makes it more difficult to clean. Plus, it quickly gets uncomfortably warm in the room. Try to do this entire job of cleaning the tub and the shower walls while standing outside the tub. There is a good reason for that, of course. That is because as soon as Scum Bum is applied, it starts liberating the soap scum that was on the wall. Then it slides down to the bottom of the tub, and that makes it very slippery. If the shower walls have smooth surfaces, no grout lines for example, use a white pad instead of the tile brush. If there are really small grout lines, use the white pad and then the toothbrush for any remaining dirt in the grout lines. If there are marble or granite surfaces, don't use any product that contains acid. As mentioned, Scum Bum has a weak acid and should only be used with caution. Miriam takes the Scum Bum and the white pad for the next step. The wall that she's cleaning first is the wall that is furthest from the drain. Start away from the drain. Shower walls are another example of if it's not dirty, don't clean it. Shower walls don't get soap or water or anything else splashed on them above a certain height, so don't clean that area. It's not dirty. Wet the tile walls before starting to apply the Scum Bum. To apply the Scum Bum, squirt a line of it along the top edge near where the shower wall doesn't need cleaning. Then spread it around with a white pad. Don't scrub yet. She's not really agitating it and she's not scrubbing it. She's just applying it and spreading it around on the walls. She will come back in a minute or two to scrub. When she comes to the soap tray, take the time to clean it. Use the handle end of the brush to knock loose the big pieces of soap. Then, flip the toothbrush around and use the brush end to do the rest of it. Don't rinse or wipe yet. She's now covered all 3 walls and she's ready to go back over the walls and scrub the Scum Bum that she's applied. The reason to make 2 times around is because in the ensuing time, chemistry has had a chance to do its duty. The Scum Bum has loosened the soap scum and the mineral deposits, which makes the job much easier. When cleaning grouted walls, scrub with a tile brush in small circles. Allow the bristles to dig into the grout. When scrubbing with any brush, don't bear down so hard that the bristles splay to each side. When you do that, you're no longer really brushing. It's more like rubbing instead, which of course is less effective. If there are shower curtains, don't even try to clean them in place. The best idea for cleaning them is for the homeowner to take them down and put them in the washing machine with a couple of towels. Remove them before the spin cycle and don't put them in the dryer. Just hang them back up and the wrinkles will fade within a day or so. Now it's time to clean the tub itself. You notice she hasn't rinsed yet. The walls are a big bubbly mess, but she's only going to rinse 1 time, and that's after she finishes the tub. Now grab the Pro Scrub and apply to the tub. You know how to do that. Don't use any more than necessary. Miriam is scrubbing using the white pad as the tub is a smooth surface. Once everything is scrubbed, it's finally time to rinse. One thing she's not going to rinse, however, is the white pad. Once she scrubbed the tub, she's going to set the white pad as is, full of Pro Scrub in the sink, where she'll put it to good use in a few minutes. Now, regarding rinsing, it's a much easier chore if there's a handheld shower head. If not, use the shower head, of course, moving it back and forth to rinse most of the walls. When rinsing the front wall here, use your hand to deflect the water. That gets most of it rinsed away. If there are a few areas that can't be rinsed, no matter which way the shower head is turned, use that plastic cup that was over the Pro Scrub in the carry-all tray. Walls. Rinse the wall at drain end from top to bottom and from drain end to side walls to far end. Tub. Rinse from far end towards drain. The next thing on the wet trip in this bathroom is the toilet. On the wet trip around the bathroom, she's only going to clean the inside of the bowl. And to do that, she needs the toilet brush and a little Pro Scrub. Get the toilet brush wet and then squirt some Pro Scrub on it. You can also squirt more Pro Scrub in the toilet bowl above the water line. She starts up scrubbing with the toilet brush underneath the edge as all sorts of gremlins seem to grow there. And then just scrub methodically down. And when done, just flush the toilet. Rinse out your toilet brush as the toilet is rinsing itself out. Now she's done with the toilet brush and Pro Scrub and puts them back in the cleaning tray. The only thing left to clean on the wet trip around the bathroom is the sink. And once again, she's just going to clean the bowl of the sink, not the rim or the faucets. Remember, she left the white pad in the sink and it's ready to use as is. Wipe the sink first, but don't add any additional pro scrub. Now scrub methodically, working your way around and further down the sink. You know how to do that by now. She will notice that she needs to use a toothbrush around the drain if necessary. Once done, rinse out the sink and the white pad and put it back in the apron. Now she's done with the wet work and is ready to start the second dry, or at least less wet trip around the room. Before starting the second trip around the room, she needs to grab a couple of things from the cleaning tray. One of them is the feather duster. If the bathroom is carpeted, put the whisk broom in the other back pocket. Miriam is going to start cleaning around the room, doing everything that she hasn't done so far. As she's already demonstrated how to do most of what's left, you know she's going to start at the cleaning tray and will work her way to the right, working from top to bottom. Use a feather duster to reach up and knock down any cobwebs. Rule number 8. Keep your tools in impeccable shape. If you expose the razor blade and instead of finding a razor there's a rusty stump, that wastes time because she has to go wandering through the house looking for a spare one. So, keep the tools in impeccable shape. If you have that tool, you'll use it. As long as we're here, of course, you need to finish off the mirror. A large mirror can usually be spot cleaned. This small mirror should be completely cleaned from top to bottom. About all that's left in this bathroom is the sink. Remember, Miriam has previously cleaned the bowl of the sink, so she's just cleaning the faucets now. The only thing that's left in here to clean is the countertop and the cabinet front, and you know how to do that. Finally, she comes to the toilet, and we haven't talked about this before. She cleaned the inside of the toilet, but not the outside of the toilet yet. She's going to do that next. When cleaning the toilet, start at the top and use your red juice and a cloth. There is an important sequence about the toilet seat and the cover to avoid having to redo work. It's pretty simple. First, put both the seat and the lid in the up position. Then lightly spray the underside of the seat and lower it. Now spray the top of the seat. Don't wipe yet. Spray the underside of the lid and lower it. Now spray the top of the lid. Also spray the hinges and the small flat area of porcelain that is often dirty. Now she's going to do everything in reverse order to clean it. Return the red juice to its loop and grab the special toilet use only red toothbrush because now you're going to need it. She's going to clean and wipe in reverse order. And the first place is around these hinges back here. Start using the red toothbrush around the hinges as needed and wipe that area clean and dry. Now wipe the top of the cover dry. Put the lid up. Use the toothbrush again around these protectors and again around the hinges on the inside. And then wipe that dry. The toothbrush really comes in handy here. Now wipe the top of the toilet seat itself. And finally, lift that up. And there's several more targets for that toothbrush here. That gets the cover on the seat done. There's one more spot on the front of these hinges that needs wiping. Be careful not to redo work here because the back half of those hinges have already been cleaned. One more part of the toilet that gets dirty is the front of it. So she sprays a little down here and also around those annoying little knobs that are so hard to clean. But only if she didn't have her trusty toothbrush that makes that job a breeze. Wipe the front and wipe around the knobs on both sides. There's one other thing that we prefer to do. As long as we're here, eyeball to eyeball with the toilet, most of us don't want to have to get down here again. So clean the floor around the toilet right now. For any type of flooring except carpet, use red juice and a dirty cleaning cloth to wipe it clean. Miriam continues to clean her way out of the room until the entire floor has been wiped and she's just successfully speed cleaned the bathroom. Now that we're done with the bathroom, let's check out the living room. Dusting and bathroom. This last section of the tape is relatively short, but we're going to cover a whole grab bag of speed cleaning information. We're going to be talking about dusting, polishing, glass cleaning, and vacuuming in all of the rest of the rooms of the house. Everything but the kitchen and the bathroom that Miriam has already cleaned. Let's get out the cleaning tray to prepare for dusting. You know Miriam will need a supply of clean cloths by now, so let's add several of them into the carry-all tray. If you're going to dust, you generally need some furniture polish, and ours contains an actual liquid wax. It's also a nice cleaner and it contains no silicone. There are better waxes. There are paste waxes and other fancy ones, but this is a very good one for weekly cleaning and also has a very nice scent. These days, most furniture doesn't benefit from polish because the furniture is finished with urethane or verathane or other finishes that are similar to plastic. So wiping with a dust cloth or even a red or blue juice dampened cloth is usually enough and much faster than applying furniture polish and then polishing it dry. To have a place to store this in your apron, remove one of the plastic liners. One more item to add is a microfiber dusting cloth. It's necessary to make it a dedicated dusting cloth. Don't use it for anything else. In fact, don't even put it in the washing machine with your regular cleaning cloths. Pro Scrub or other cleaning products could transfer to the microfiber dusting cloth and cause the cloth to scratch furniture. You can use this same dedicated dusting cloth over and over again for a year or more. Put it into the cleaning tray. As you may by now expect, Miriam has a starting place, and that is just inside the door in the room she starts in. We're in the living room, but when you're doing the dusting, it doesn't matter much which room you start in. Floor plans are so different from house to house that you can decide to start in the dining room or a bedroom. But starting in the living room or family room is fine, and that's where a lot of people would like to start. If you have a two-story home, it's smart to follow the top to bottom rule and start upstairs. Here's an interesting and helpful house cleaning fact. 2 people can change a bed 4 times faster than one person doing it alone. Miriam is dressed for dusting and has her cleaning apron on. She has the familiar red juice and the blue juice in their spots. There are some differences, however. Furniture polish is in a pocket along with a dedicated furniture polishing microfiber cloth. She has a whisk broom in her back pocket that comes in handy when you're doing the dusting. And also, a feather duster will be used more now that we're doing the dusting. The strategy is the same, however, and that is to start in one spot and proceed around the room, never backtracking. It's important that you do everything that needs to be done in each spot before moving on. In other words, finishing all of the dusting, all of the polishing, the wiping, the brushing, the tidying, all of those things in one spot before you move on. Rule number 9. Repetition makes for smoother moves. When you decide that you're going to carry your cloth over your shoulder because that makes it handy to reach and therefore saves time, then carry it there all the time and on the same shoulder. While we're at it, let's cover the last few rules. There's only 4 left. Rule number 10. Pay attention. Everything falls into place if you do. If you're cleaning, just clean. Don't worry about the latest crisis, neither yours or the world's. Rule number 11. Keep track of your time. Time yourself. You'll get a little faster every time. It's amazing how this happens kind of automatically anyway, and it makes you feel very gratified. Rule number 12. Use both hands. If you stop and think about it, 1/2 of your workforce is idle if you're only using one hand. Now, you can't always use 2 hands, of course, but oftentimes, for example, you could be spraying with one hand and wiping with the other. And the last rule, and actually a favorite, if there are more than one of you, work as a team. House cleaning can be much more fun if you work as a team. Besides, it's only fair. The way we're going to demonstrate how to dust is to show you a few different areas and items in the living room and dining room to demonstrate how a speed cleaner like Miriam would approach the different surfaces that you come to. She will put her carry-all tray at the entrance to the living room and proceed from there. The first thing she does is look up and finds antique mirrored art. No one touches this, but it has frames that get dusty, so it needs to be dusted. If you use a feather duster properly, it's a great tool. A very important principle is to bring it to a complete stop at the end of each time you use it. If you come to a complete stop, the dust that was up there is actually now in a feather duster. Occasionally tap the feather duster against your ankle. That loosens up the dust so it settles to the floor where the dust will be vacuumed away a little later. Below that is a chair and pillow. There could be plenty of hairs or cookie crumbs on the chair. She uses the whisk broom to whisk them off and onto the floor where they can be vacuumed away, and she won't have to drag out a special attachment when she's vacuuming. You may not be able to whisk debris off every time you clean and will be forced to vacuum the chair or couch occasionally. But use the whisk broom as often as possible, as it saves a lot of time. Because the chair is not on carpet, Miriam can dust the floor under the chair and move the dust out where it can be vacuumed. That means that whoever is vacuuming won't have to stop and move the chair. Moving to the right, Miriam repeats the high to low dusting, including the floor. At the fireplace and mantle, she starts a pick up, dust, and replace series of motions. This mantle is a rough hewn timber, so be particularly gentle when dusting it to avoid feathers being caught in it. She comes to a potted plant. Contrary to popular opinion, you don't get to ignore plants. Support the branch with one hand as you dust, so they need to be dusted. It's easy enough to do. Bring the duster to complete stops as you work your way down, knocking the dust and the cobwebs off. At the floor, she once again uses a feather duster on the floor and on any places the vacuum cleaner isn't going to fit. Dusting the floor allows you to pull out dust and dog and cat hairs or dust bunnies that are under there, so later on she doesn't have to stop vacuuming to move the furniture. Next is a TV and cabinet. The highest shelf is out of reach except for a light dusting. Things that require a ladder or step stools are considered occasional cleaning and not weekly cleaning. You know how to dust and replace on the next shelf. For safety, don't do anything to the screen of the TV, but wipe the top edge with a red or blue juice dampened cloth. We have a good view of the baseboards here. As mentioned, they get quite dusty, so they need to be wiped or vacuumed with a brush attachment about as often as they need regular dusting. Windowsills are both horizontal, so they catch more dust and they are exposed to even more dirt when the window is open, so they need to be carefully wiped. Using an already dampened cloth, doesn't matter if it's red juice or blue juice, to wipe the sills or spray them directly if they are particularly dirty. Continuing around the room, Miriam comes to a glass coffee table. She can't really get away with feather dusting it because there are too many fingerprints on it each week. So the way to clean it is to set the things off that are in the way or move them to one side and then the other. She repeats for the other side. Cleaners often miss the lower shelf, but working top to bottom, not speed cleaners. She dusts the lower shelf of the coffee table with just the feather duster. Once again, she uses her whisk broom around the legs of the coffee tables so the vacuum won't miss those areas. You know how to dust and whisk a cloth chair and how to clean the second glass table, but leather furniture shows dust, so she wipes the horizontal surfaces and checks for little dried spills on the left seat. But we haven't mentioned a lamp. Dust or wipe the base, but remember to use the feather duster up inside the lamp shades. A lot of cobwebs gather there. Of course, also use it on the outside of the lampshade. As she's moving to the right, she naturally migrates into the dining room. The first thing is a door leading to the patio. There are fingerprints on the door near the handle, plus numerous dried blotches from where the dog's nose touches the glass when he wants to go out. Miriam sprays a little blue juice on a cloth to remove the fingerprints, and directly sprays the last area to wipe the dog's nose prints off, and dries with a cleaning cloth. Notice that she sprays it lightly. She doesn't need to drown the spots, nor is it helpful to have the spray dribble all the way down to the floor. The way to reduce streaks is to keep turning over your cloth when wiping dry so that you're always using a nice dry part of the cloth. If your cloth is damp, switch it to a dry cloth. Streaks come from leaving glass slightly damp, and it's especially noticeable on mirrors, because as it dries, it turns into a streak. The dining room table always needs cleaning of some sort. If it's a glass table, use blue juice. If it's painted, use red juice. If it's wood, use either furniture polish or blue juice depending on the finish. This table has a plastic-like finish, so Miriam is going to try furniture polish. Spray directly on the wood and use a nice dry microfiber cloth to avoid streaks. Just move the plant first to one side and then the other. Use your feather duster on the back of the chairs. Something that a lot of people seem to ignore are little spots on the carpet, such as dribbles of coffee or little spots of food. Instead of ignoring spots, put a little red juice on a spot, agitate it with your toothbrush, and blot it back up with a cleaning cloth. That keeps the carpet looking nice for a long time if you stay on the lookout for spots. The same thing goes with a stone or hardwood floor. Don't ignore little dribbles. Spray a little red juice on the floor. It's not going to hurt it. If you need your toothbrush, use it, then wipe it back up. That's also part of the weekly cleaning. Now, all that stands between you and completing the cleaning of this home is vacuuming. Luckily, there isn't as much to say about vacuuming, so this will be a short section. You notice Marian only has red juice and a couple of cleaning cloths in her apron now, but if she spots a coffee drip or other removable spots while vacuuming, she can remove them. She also carries a whisk broom and feather duster just in case you might run into some debris. We prefer a canister vacuum with a strong suction, low noise level, and an attachment that adjusts to both carpets and to hardwood floors. The one we use is called the Big Vac. When vacuuming, still follow the speed cleaning rules. In other words, don't backtrack. High traffic areas need to be vacuumed over more slowly or go over the area more than once. If it's less dirty, you can speed up your vacuuming and go around the room methodically. Notice how she overlaps on her return strokes? Use landmarks like furniture or plants so that you don't vacuum the same area twice. Tilt furniture if possible, or use a whisk broom so you don't have to move the furniture. After vacuuming area rugs, it's easy to switch the vacuum floor attachment for hardwood floors and vacuum under the edge of the carpet. Sand and other dirt migrates under the edges. If you have dogs and cats with fleas, that's also where the flea eggs hide. When furniture is light enough to move, just move it an inch, and you can vacuum where the legs were, as Marian is doing now with the dining room table. There is no demonstration of the following, but when vacuuming stairs, follow the rule and start at the top and work down. We use this canister-type vacuum, and the way to do it is to set the canister down a few steps and then vacuum towards it, and then move it down a few more steps. Wherever there's any kind of debris in any of the corners, grab your whisk broom and whisk it out. Congratulations! You've just speed cleaned your house. It takes longer to watch this video than it would take to speed clean your house. Have fun with the people you share. We told you we would tell you how to order the same personally safe, efficient, fast tools and supplies we use ourselves to save time day after day in San Francisco. Visit our website at speedclean.com to order online.